Hey, what's up, everybody? It's everybody's favorite Rich Auntie TK back with the sizzle. And what are we doing? We're trying to get new in 2022. Did you miss me? I know you did. I know you did, and I miss doing this. But you already know TK stay hustling, so I have to work and work and work. But I am already applying the principles now, or I'm making plans for some of the things that I will be adhering to in 2022 as I am on track for a productive, a prosperous, and just overall phenomenal year. Um, yeah. So let's get into it then. We're still counting down. And I am going to do, let me look at my notes. Because you know she come with the notes. I do take notes. So we're going to go from day 9 through day 15 of things that we can do, practices or habits that we can develop in 2022 to get us where we want to be, that will align with God's promise for our life, that will align with our aspirations, our dreams, our visions. These are some of the things we have to do. I know where we left off is connecting, right? Just connecting and collaborating. So hopefully if you watched that video, you took it to heart and you started thinking about some of the key people that you wanted to reach back out to, or that you wanted to collaborate with. We also talked about, self-care is good, but I think some of this superficial form of self-care that we've been seeing on social media, it's out now. It's time for family care. It's time for friend care. It's time for co-worker care. It's time for leadership care. So those are some of the things that we want to start focusing on again. And the good news is you don't have to wait. You know what I'm saying? I don't know any ball player that waits until game day to practice. You see what I did? Do you see what I did there? Girl, I told you. I'm your favorite auntie. Auntie always give good advice. So here we go. So we're going to start with day 9. And on day 9, here's what we are going to focus on, or just make a priority as we're thinking about, how we want to interact with people now that we're back into building relationships and not sectioning ourselves off in our own little silos. But we want to learn the difference between, you ready? Compassion and empathy. I know that usually people kind of use them, interchangeably. However, there is a difference. I'm just going to give you my own little definition. And the way that I look at it, compassion is when we, just sort of empathize. All right. Empathize with people or show acts of kindness, to people that we deem are less fortunate or are experiencing hardships, difficulties, and just discomfort in life. You know what I'm saying? So, in my opinion, I think that if we perceive a person that way, or people in certain situations, in a way where we think that they are less fortunate, or they're going through hardships, or they're experiencing some level of discomfort or injustice, I think it's easy for us to be compassionate, right? It's the obvious. It's the obvious go-to when we think about how we want to respond or how we want to get involved if we choose to get involved. It's easy to do that if we think the person is in a worse off situation that we are in. But here's the difference between compassion and empathy. Whereas compassion, we have to perceive that person to be, in a dire situation, or a situation that's, sort of worse off than ours. Empathy, right? It requires us to make a choice whether or not we want to put ourselves in that person's shoes or extend compassion. Why? Because sometimes empathy does not really have to do with any circumstance or situation that we can obviously tell is a discomfort or a dis-ease or a misfortune for someone. Somebody could say, somebody cut me off today in traffic, and man, that just messed my day up. I still feel some kind of way about it. They might just be unloading, or they might just need a sounding board, and that could have been the first thing to spark a series of, irritating events. I'm going to use the word irritating because we're human, and sometimes that happens. We could be on the way to work, someone cut us off, and that's the first thing, and then all day long stuff is happening. We spill coffee on ourselves. We might have lost a big sale, or commission structure change we had no idea that was about to happen. You know what I'm saying? Getting a call home from school from the kid's teacher. It could be anything. The problem is, sometimes if we are unable to relate to situations that we deem trivial, we become unempathetic sometimes. And you know what? That's what we need to stop doing. Just because we ourselves aren't experiencing something, or we perceive a thing to be trivial, if the person is reaching out to us, we have to make the conscious decision to empathize with them. Compassion, they obviously could use support. Empathy, we choose. All right. So in the year of 2022, we are going to learn the difference between compassion and empathy, and we're going to discipline ourselves, or just, I won't even say discipline. We're just going to challenge ourselves to be a little more empathetic to people who are experiencing things that we may deem as trivial, or we may not be able to observe with the eye, or we may not be able to virtue signal and let everybody know that we're involved in this situation trying to help folks out. We're just gonna extend empathy a little more when we can. We're gonna make the conscious choice. All right. So that's day 9. All right. And moving on. So day 10. Here's what we're going to do. Now, I like this one. I thought about this long and hard when I comprised this list. I just wanted to, I just kind of thought about what are some things that we could benefit from. And this is a self-esteem booster. So listen to me closely what I'm talking about, and try and see beyond, the surface here. Okay. You may not like what I'm about to say. You don't need an echo chamber. You don't always need a symphony of people around you that are singing your praises, or, that are going around, giving you your flowers at every turn. You want to know why you don't need that? Because a lot of times it's not available. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you may find yourself in situations where you're constantly doing, and you know that you're giving it 155% each time. And there is no symphony. There is no orchestra. There are no flowers. There's no pat on the back. There's no appreciation sometimes even. You know what I'm saying? And you don't necessarily need people to constantly hear you and agree with you on everything, or champion you at every turn, because it's not going to be available. You have to learn to rely on your own intrinsic value. You have to believe that the gifts, the talents, the ideas, the skills that are on the inside of you have value that you own, and no one can devalue it or add value to it. You're the owner of it. And you don't need people around you, trumpeting everything that you say so that you can feel comfortable with the things that you're doing or the things that you're saying, period. You dig? Thank you. Moving on. Day 11, you guys. Day 11. So this one kind of goes hand in hand. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm jumping ahead. Day 11. Oh. The reason why we're going to go here is because we already know January 1st, everybody's vegan. Okay? Everybody. I don't even hear vegetarian anymore. I don't hear pescatarian. I hear vegan. That's it. Vegan. We got vegan shoes, vegan leather. I mean, everything is vegan now. Avocados are vegan. I mean, I thought right? But why do we have to label it now? I mean, like, everyone's tagging vegan on everything just for the purpose of taking a stance, so to speak. It's a label. Vegan is a label. And why am I talking about veganism? Because I'm coming for your diet, though. We're coming for the diet. January 1st, 2022. Don't make the resolution. We're not into making resolutions. We're into making real lifestyle changes, developing positive and effective and impactful habits that lead to true transformation. And we're into allowing the Lord to order our steps in order to see those transformations, right? And one thing that we need to put under control is our diet. Now, I'm not just talking about food. See, that's the thing. When we think about diets, we typically go to food. You know, the minute you hear diet, you're thinking food. Like, yeah, because Thanksgiving, I was eating some cakes and cakes and pies and this and that and cookies and that. We're not talking about that. What are you consuming? Because just because it seems like it's edible, that doesn't mean it's fit for human consumption. What am I talking about? Well, let's get into it then. Entertainment. What are you entertaining yourself with? You know, whatever you're taking in, it's going to affect you one way or another. Now, I know the Bible says it's not what goes in a man that makes him unclean, it's what comes out. But we also know as adults that if we feed ourselves with too much of a thing, it's going to come out. You see what I'm saying? So how are you being entertained? And when I'm talking about entertainment, I'm not talking about going to a nightclub. You know, I don't know. I don't know where you're going with that, but I'm talking about the simple stuff. What are you watching on TV? Are you constantly watching the newsreels over and over and over? See, it's not good for consumption. Your mind should not consume the things that you're constantly seeing played over and over and over again on the news. Why? Because it's going to affect your mood. It will. It's designed to do so. You know, I talk to people all the time, and I even had to share to be honest, I had to stop watching the news. See, all of this stuff, I'm the first partaker, you guys. I apply it to myself first. And I'm sharing it with you because it's super helpful. But I was watching the news, and I was watching the news over and over. And it just seems like at every turn, stuff was just popping off, you guys. And I'm like, I mean, my goodness, every day there's another tragedy, or the politicians are saying this, and COVID this, and no mask, and the schools are being overturned. And I mean, it was just so much. It was overwhelming. It was inundating, and it was clouding up my mental space. Now, when you are in the career field that I'm in, which is the reason why I always like to keep a certain atmosphere around me, because I need to be able to create, you just cannot consume certain things. And I know for sure that many of us are doing the same. Now, it's not always the news. Sometimes we're entertaining shows that are full of toxicity and drama. I personally don't. I don't even watch TV, but I know that's out there, right? Sometimes we say, oh, I'm just trying to decompress. I'm just watching it because I'm just trying to, clear my mind, and I just don't want to have to think about anything else. I just want some mindless, binge watching some craziness just so that I can escape the stuff that's going on around me. And we're watching things that are full of drama, full of toxicity, and it's shaping our attitudes. Okay? Or we're entertaining conversations that just don't serve us well. You know, you're driven, you're a visionary, you're a business owner now. You're trying to get your small business off the ground. You're a leader. You got 17 people on your team that you are trying to lead. You're, you know, the head deacon in charge. You cannot entertain every type of entertainment. It's not always good for consumption, because it's going to shape your attitude about certain things. It's gonna give you biases. You won't even realize that you're developing biases. So yeah, we're gonna watch the diet. We're going to watch what we're garbage in, garbage out. You dig? You dig? All right, moving on. Cause see, I know I'll be rambling sometimes. That's why I don't do this every day. Day 12. Okay, so now this is kind of going hand in hand in what I was talking about. You don't need an echo chamber. You don't need people constantly building you up, or, you know, taking your thoughts and ideas and running with them so that you can feel like they are valid. They still have validity, whether or not you have 20 people supporting you in your corner, or whether or not it's you alone. You just have to believe that. And then the other thing is, hey, if you know that there's been someone who's been helping you out, they've been giving you some good insider trading tips, or no, I didn't just say that. But they're just helping you out. They're giving you some good advice. They've been mentoring you. They've been giving you some good guidance. They've been a sounding board for you. Or if they just, maybe they mentioned one game-changing thing that elevated your entire path altogether. Don't be stingy. Give them the credit. To me, I just don't like this. I think that I don't like it. I think it's a bit. Oh, what do I want to say? I just think it's a bit shallow, or inauthentic for someone to take credit for something that they know just didn't come from them. That's kind of shady. I mean, I just feel like, if you know somebody gave you a good tip, or somebody helped you out, or they gave you some information that you did not know and now you're forever enlightened, or they gave you some information that caused you to look and find other information that you were able to pivot off of, or just whatever, however it impacted your life in a positive way, give them the credit. When people help you, give them the credit. Don't be shy about it, and then don't you try to take the credit. You know? Oh man, I just kind of feel like there's something dishonest about it even. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they just, if some people are so friendly and just so helpful, they don't mind just, hey, try this. It's like nothing to them. Try this. Or, hey, I saw this great article. I know that this is, kind of your mix. I thought you might be interested in it. I'm just going to shoot you a quick email. If that thing revolutionized the way that you do the things that you do, give them the credit. Don't try to take it for yourself. And it's so annoying to, and I hate to say words like annoying. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to offend anyone. Don't want to offend anyone, but I'm just saying, to me, I find it annoying when people learn a new word. They know somebody else taught them the word, and now they're just going on and on to everybody that they meet, and they still don't really have the understanding of it. They just have a very marginal frame of it, and they just go with it. Give those people the credit. Give them the credit. Don't sit there and try and take credit for stuff that you didn't originate. You know what I'm saying? Give people the credit. This is how you keep those relationships lasting. You may be able to help them out in a mighty way in the future, or you guys may be able to come up with like the dopest collaboration ever. But just don't try to be so self-serving and take credit for something that did not come from your brain space. Okay, moving on. Oh, I don't know. I must have been in the mood when I did this one, but you got to be honest. Day 13, as we're counting down, we're counting to the new year. On December 13th, I thought, you know what? You got to be honest. That person is not really your friend. Tell yourself that, and then trust yourself. You already know if you have those type of friends that come around when they think you're going through a hardship. You know what I'm saying? They think you're going through something. They coming around just watching. And asking you little questions. Oh, so that happened to you? Oh, so then what did they say? Oh, so what did you do? So what is your plan? Oh, you already know that they only around because they want to see you fail, especially if you've been a positive person. I know firsthand. Or maybe they're not so vocal about it. Maybe they're that person that's kind of always been there, but they kind of, say little side remarks anytime you try to share something positive that you're doing. That's why I say you don't always need people to boost you up. Sometimes, man, I hate to say it, but people be hating on the low, and they are dressed as your friend, but you hear the remarks and you're wondering, why would they say that? Or and the truth about it is because they are just jealous of what you're doing, or they're jealous of your mindset, or they are just envious because when they think that you are going to fail, you always seem to rise above, forgetting that you are a child of God and your victory is sealed in the blood of Jesus. So God has already fixed victory over your life. Do you know what I'm saying to you right now? And they don't like that. It makes them mad. They don't like your joy. They don't want to see you happy. They want to see you break down. You got to be honest with yourself. That's not your friend. In 2022, you're going to have to move on. Maybe they were in your life for just a season, but you got to move on, because as you are trying to elevate in life, and as you are trying to align with your purpose, and as you are trying to serve God in a more, intensified way, hearing that negativity, hearing those little side remarks, or getting the fair weather friend vibe from them when they only come around when they feel like you're in need, so they can watch you and, just enjoy seeing you go through hardship. You don't need that in your ear. You got to get rid of them in 2022. Okay? No fake friends. We're not taking fake friends, fake associates. You're not taking in those. You're not connecting with those types of people. Pray for them. Don't you become a hater. Just pray for them. But you got to get them out of your circle, because you're trying to move. They can hinder you. Those little foxes will spoil the vine. Foxes coming in the form of words. Okay? Day 14, you guys. Hey, we're almost up to date to day 15. What are we doing on day 14? So this is me. Me personally, I can do a lot of things, and I know sometimes it seems like I always have my hands in a bunch of stuff. The key thing about it is I'm super organized with this stuff. And you got to get organized, okay? You have to get organized. The world has changed. Things have changed. And you may find that you have your hands in several things until you are able to reclaim that stability that you're used to. The only way that you'll be successful is by organization. You have to organize yourself. You have to set an agenda. You have to, Google Calendar is free. If you have a Gmail account, just use Google Calendar. Everything you're doing, I put everything on my Google Calendar, even waking up, even taking my kid to school, even doing prayer and devotion is all on my Google Calendar. And Google Calendar alerts you. You get an email or, right to your phone. I get an email right to my phone each time, 20 minutes before, 10 minutes before. It's time. You're moving on to the next phase in the day. Organizational skills are going to be key, period. But in 2022, especially because you're trying to make transformation and you have to be organized, it's going to help you stay focused. It's going to help you stay steady. And by having those little things on your agenda, you can view them as goals, and it's going to give you a sense of accomplishment too. We already know that's going to release endorphins. It's like dopamine to the brain when you feel like you did something good and you reward yourself. So yeah, get organized. Y'all ready for day 15? Day 15 today, December 15th, 2021. What else are we going to focus on as we work on ourselves and get new in 2022? Y'all ready? Backup plans are okay. So it's okay to have a plan B. And side hustles, they can help you elevate. Listen, a lot of people were laid off, right? I heard someone had said that people who are getting laid off, well, they should be fine. That, they're getting unemployment and this and that. And I'm thinking to myself, do you know how offensive? Who can live off of unemployment? Who wants to live? Who that is purpose driven, that has a vision, that knows that they have gifts and talents, and who wants to live off of unemployment? No. The real OGs, the real hustlers, you know what we did? We went out there and we got gigs. Okay, we became a part of the gig economy. We hustled. We flipped and we flipped. We made plans and we went for it. And you know what? Sometimes you might have to work 2 or 3 hustles to account for one until you're able to hit a stride, or until you are able to sort of get stable in at least one of them. When I got laid off in 2020, I actually started 3 businesses at the same time. Now I know, because my grandfather was Chinese, I know there's a Chinese proverb that says, you can't travel 2 roads at once. Well, that's very profound now, isn't it? However, no one's traveling 2 roads. See, the thing about it is, every hustle is not for the long run. It's not for the journey. Not every hustle. Some hustles are just temporary. You feel me? Some things you're just doing for the moment until you get where you want to go in the path that you want to be in, or the path that you're choosing. I had to start 3 businesses. You know what I had to do? And I hopefully, I like to joke around because this is for entertainment, but it's also to help you too. But I had to start from within, right? Like, what are the things that I know that I'm good at? What are the things that I am, that I have the skill to do? What did I go to college for? What are the things? What training do I have? I had to look. Let me look at my portfolio. What do I have? I had to look at all of that stuff, and then I said, okay, what did God call me to do? All right, because see, now you got to narrow stuff down, right? Okay, so we got to start here. Okay, so what is my purpose? Lord, what you put me here for? What you call me to do, Lord? Because that's how I be talking, right? So what did you call me to do? What have I been trying to do for all of these years while I was working that one main gig that I was relying on instead of relying on you, Lord? What was the thing? Okay, so now I understand. So what were the steps that I was taking to get there? Okay, so when I was going through those steps, what did I learn there? Oh, you know what? I did attend this for 2 years, and I did do this and this and this. This is how I developed my business. Okay, this is how I came up with it. So I started 3 at once, and to be honest with you, I wasn't sure which of those businesses was going to. I didn't know which one of the businesses was going to take off, honey. I was just like, look, this is what I can do. Let me just make a plan for this, this, and this. So I got the plan. I'm organized, super organized. I go in and I just do what I'm supposed to do. And then I realized, one of these businesses is taking off just like that. You know what I'm saying? Just like that. Just quickly. I didn't even expect it. I won't say I didn't expect it. I had an expectation. I just didn't. You know how when they say, and he did it suddenly? Oh, yeah, that's how it was. See, that's why he exceeds our expectations. I already was like, 6 months to a year. This is where I'll be. So I'll be doing this. I'll have to do this. And I'll have to make this sacrifice. I'm thinking 6 months to a year. And I'm talking about things start flipping around in 30 days. So that's the kind of God we serve. It's okay, though, to do things like that. I still have 2 main gigs. I still have 2 hustles, you guys. That third hustle, I'm phasing it out at the end of the year because I don't need it anymore. See, that's what I'm saying. So, yes, you can't travel 2 roads at once. However, every hustle that you do is not for the long hauls, not for the journey. It's okay to do a side hustle to get that extra financial cushioning, that extra stream of revenue until you get where you want to go. All right. So hopefully you guys, I was able to help you out. This is what I got day 9 through 15 of Getting New in 2022. We are going to transform. My final prescription for you is just this. It's so simple. Be content in every situation, and in every situation, find joy. And that's all I got for y'all today. I gotta go to work. Until next time, deuces.